everybody? I hope y'all are doing well on this Monday morning. I want to remind you guys of some things that we have coming up this week. First, we will be doing our check-in today at 3:30, so make sure you guys are available for that. Also, we may be doing something Thursday night that'll kind of depend on when the services for Kelsey's grandma will be. For those of you who don't know, Kelsey's grandmother passed away last week. Services will be sometime this week. I will keep you guys informed and let y'all know on if we are doing anything this week or not. Okay. Um, this morning I want to talk to you about a verse that you've probably heard. Like I've said, I love doing this. I love talking to you guys about verses that you've heard and giving y'all new insight on them. And so this morning, the verses that I want to talk to you about are Hebrews 11, 1 through 3. Now, you've probably heard these verses. Okay, if you have, say them with me. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. For by it the people of old received their condemnation. By faith we understand that the universe was created by the word of God, so that what is seen was not made out of things that are visible. This kicks off Hebrews chapter 11. Hebrews chapter 11 is very commonly referred to as the faith chapter. This is very commonly referred to as the definition of faith. And yes, it is a direct definition of what faith is. It is a direct, if you want to find a definition of faith, like here it is. But there's a reason why this definition is given, and we must read it within context of the rest of this letter. What you have to know about Hebrews is that this was written to Jewish people who were Christians, but were beginning to go back to their old ways. They were beginning to go back to their traditions and go back to what they used to do, and people were, like, their own people were persecuting them. Their own people were coming after them like, no, Jesus wasn't really who he said he was. You need to follow this and all of that. At the end of chapter 10, the author of Hebrews, who we don't know for sure who it is, finished describing why the new covenant in Jesus was superior to the old covenant of animal sacrifices and all these things that the other Jews and other Hebrews were pressuring these Hebrews and Jews to follow. This concluded with a reassuring reminder. In verse 39 it says, "But we are not of those who shrink back and are destroyed, but of those who have faith and persevere and preserve their souls." This is the author of Hebrews saying we're going to stand firm on our faith, and we're going to stand firm on what it means. After verse 3, he's going to go through and he's going to talk about different biblical characters. He talks about Abel, he talks about Enoch, he talks about Noah, Abraham, talks about all these different biblical characters and these high, like, patriarchs in Jewish faith, or in Jewish tradition, and talks about their faith. The writer of Hebrews points out examples of believers who demonstrated real saving faith in God. And each example of faith demonstrates trust based on what that person knew and held as reassurance that God would act according to his promises. This is what Hebrews 11, 1 through 3 really means. It defines faith. Unfortunately, when it's usually quoted, it's misunderstood. The writer here demonstrates that faith is really a trust in God's character. Now, we have to understand that the faith that the author of Hebrews is talking about here is not just a general, like, faith in yourself, or just a general, like, believe that you can do it or believe that it can be done. It is a faith in God, a faith in the one who has proven to be faithful, of a trust that has been that is placed in the one who has proven to hold fast to his promises and keep his promises and do what he says. This faith serves as an anchor for us. So this morning, what I want to encourage you guys with this morning is I want to encourage you guys that, man, place your faith in God, place your trust in God, because He is faithful. He is trustworthy. He fulfills His promises. It's not, what we place our faith in is not just a blind trust into whatever works. What we place our faith in is in a God who is faithful and true and holds to His promises. That's what we place our faith in. That's who we place our faith in. That's why faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen, because God is at the center of our faith. God is at the center of our trust. God is at the center of what we believe. And that is why faith has these assurances. That is why faith gave people condemnation. And that is why we understand the universe was created by the Word of God. Because God is faithful, and God holds His promises and keeps them, and God is trustworthy. So this morning I want to encourage you guys, man, this morning step out in faith and place your faith in God. I'll see you guys today at 3:30, and we'll check in with you guys and make sure everything's going okay. Y'all had a good weekend. So that'll be today at 3:30. So make sure you guys are available for that. Have a good one.